What's happening? No.
Life of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Here in the Daily Bugle will not rest until we've uncovered the truth behind his web of lies.
Hello, and welcome everyone. Spider-Man has an extensive gallery of villains, but few have given him as much trouble over the years as Venom. Almost any storyline featuring the juggernaut antagonist is bound to be epic, and oftentimes then not. Spider-Man has managed to find a way to get an upper hand over his arch-nemesis. But let me be clear, Venom is far stronger than Spider-Man himself. So, who wins an actual fair fight? In this video, we go over what gives one an advantage over the other, and who is likely to be the last man standing in a head-on-fair duel. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's get started with the video.
What the hell are you?
I am Venom.
Let's start with Venom's powers and abilities. Venom has the power to absorb the powers and abilities of his host. This is one of his most important abilities, as has allowed him to gain some of his strongest tools and tricks. This ability is the reason why he has so many spider-like skills. Since Venom absorbed most of these when was latched onto Spider-Man, that is another reason why we don't see Venom being more like Spider-Man in the movie Venom, because this version of Venom hasn't met Spider-Man yet. Venom has the power to heal himself, which makes him a worthy foe, even to Spider-Man. But more than that, he has the power to heal and regenerate his host. For Eddie Brock, it meant he could heal and regenerate to slow or cure his cancer. Venom has a unique ability to adapt on demand to a hostile environment. Venom can survive in the depths of space, underwater, and surrounded by toxic fumes. What's more, he can pass this ability on to others, he so chooses. He is able to manipulate the fibers of his being into these melee weapons, making him a strong opponent in any fight, whether he arrives armed or not. Venom has a poisonous bite. It makes sense. When the symbiote first bonded with Eddie Brock, Brock wanted to ensure they had some stunning differentiators from Spider-Man, thus creating the image of Venom we all associate with the character. His large gaping mouth filled with slimy teeth and a tongue that would make Gene Simmons recoil. With this came abilities associated with these poisonous fangs, making for a pretty deadly bite. His bite is a lot stronger than a spider's, and he once used to take a chunk out of Sandman so big that Sandman almost succumbed to the injury. Venom has merged with humans, that much we all know. He has made a host out of multiple humans including Peter Parker, Eddie Brock, and Flash Thompson. But he has also merged with objects. In a power that would scare even Christine, Venom once merged with a broken down car, making it fully operational and a monster of an automobile, complete with tentacles, teeth, a slimy massive tongue, and a pretty sweet spider logo. He wasn't just able to merge with the vehicle, but his powers allowed him to heal it and make it fully operational. Venom's genetic memory ability allows him to recall memories from previous hosts, since he once bonded with Spider-Man. So now when he is bonded with Eddie Brock, they both know Spider-Man's true identity, making a much easier target. That said, Venom isn't infallible. Weak to sonic noises, and possessing some weakened versions of absorbed powers, not every trick in his repertoire is as impressive as the next. For those like Eddie Brock, who answer the knock-knock and let the devil in, Venom brings awesome powers and abilities to heal, get stronger, and become both a worthy adversary and a reluctant hero. Alas, not every power is as valuable as the next, and some of what Venom has is a little weak.
Activate instant kill!
Now let's move on to Spider-Man himself. As we all are well aware, Peter Parker has superhuman abilities derived from mutations resulting from the bite of a radioactive spider. Since the original stories, Spider-Man has had the ability to cling to walls. This has been speculated to be based on a distance-dependent interaction between his body and surfaces, known as the van der Waals force. Though in the 2002 Spider-Man film, his hands and feet are lined with tiny clinging cilia in the manner of a real spider's feet. Spider-Man's other powers include superhuman strength, speed, agility, durability, and balance, and a precognitive sixth sense referred to as a spider sense, which alerts him of upcoming danger. He possesses super agility. His ability to perform his signature acrobatic leaps doesn't just look awesome, it's an invaluable tool in his crime-fighting arsenal. It enables him to rescue free-falling innocents and evade the attacks of even his most persistent foes. Pete's crime-fighting career would have been a whole lot shorter if he hadn't been able to weave through Doc Ock's tentacles, vault over Electro's blasts, or dive majestically out of the way of Green Goblin's glider. He also possesses a super-fast metabolism. It turns out doing whatever a spider can burns a whole lot of calories, meaning that Spidey often has a ravenous appetite. But there is more to this power than facilitating gluttony. It's also made him able to recover quickly from a wide range of poisons and toxins. Most notably, it enabled him to survive being poisoned, and buried alive in the iconic story, Kraven's Last Hunt. He has got radioactive blood, which carries with it some unexpected benefits. Aside from his spider-like powers, Peter also enjoys immunity to most forms of radiation.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go.
So with that setup, who has an upper hand in a battle? Well, Venom possesses the same powers as Spider-Man after Spider-Man had bonded with the symbiote. Venom generates its own web, which is organic, allowing it to produce almost unlimitedly, although it may weaken if Venom uses too much at one time. Not only that, Venom's web is stronger than Spider-Man's and dissolves on its own after a while. In addition to the web, Venom can also form tentacles to grab hold of objects, and even being able to extend over long distances. Venom's hands have claws that can be used as melee weapons, and his jaw is lined with sharp fangs, which he can use to bite other creatures. Venom possesses superhuman strength, which is superior to that of Spider-Man. His body is extremely tough, able to endure blows or drops that would kill an ordinary human, with the symbiote quickly healing most of the injuries Eddie Brock sustains. Other than that, he also possesses unlimited shapeshifter abilities, allowing him to camouflage himself like a chameleon or take on the aspect of another individual. Venom can escape Spider-Man's spider sense, because of which Spider-Man cannot see him coming, unlike his other enemies. As to why is that, it is speculated that, given Spider-Man carried the symbiote for a long time, his spider instinct now doesn't recognize him as a danger. As we discussed, Venom does, however, have two weaknesses. It is vulnerable to sonic attacks, which can force the symbiote to separate from its host, as well as to fire. However, Venom will succeed in suppressing these weaknesses, thanks to the symbiote and thanks to its training in space. As for Spider-Man, his most pronounced human abilities are his intelligence and his resourcefulness, but this is all augmented by his superhuman abilities. Spider-Man's strength has been the topic of much debate, since he is usually perceived as weak because of his very slim body type. Yet, Spider-Man can without any additional enhancements lift an amazing 10 tons. So, if you were ever doubting Spider-Man's strength, just remember that he was able to support a building from crashing down on him. Spider-Man and Venom have a long history. The two of them have been connected since Venom's debut in Secret Wars via the Black Spider-Man suit. They have often collaborated, but they have also often clashed one against the other, with Spider-Man coming out as the winner in most cases, mainly because he is the hero of the story. But the comparison is really not that simple. Namely, Venom seems to be much more powerful than Spider-Man. He is stronger and can lift much more than Spider-Man. He is more durable, he has some exceptional supernatural skills and powers. And he has one big advantage over Spider-Man, and that should be obvious as he knows Spider-Man quite well. This gives Venom a big tactical advantage in battle. Sure, one could argue that Spider-Man could use two of Venom's known weaknesses, sound and fire. But Venom has evolved over the years, becoming not only more powerful, but also more resistant to his usual triggers. This all indicates that Spider-Man's victories are more of a narrative moment than an objective result of their powers and abilities, and we actually agree with that. Talking about their fights in the comics, Spider-Man has won most of his fights against Venom, but they've all been pretty close, and one could argue that calling in the Avengers is basically cheating. Considering Spider-Man had to fake his own death to get away from Venom in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 347, it's safe to say that even Peter knows his chances of beating Venom in a straight fight are very slim. And with that, we will bring this video to an end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.